So much going on this morning. I would ask you, Ralph, first. We have now seen Kasich, Cruz drop out of this race, Bernie Sanders. Will he soon follow suit?
He's going to go to the convention because that's when he will have a stronger hand. If he drops out now, he won't. So he's going to go all the way to California. He'll get more delegates, and he'll make his demands. They'll give him a prime time slot on TV for his speech. But I don't think the corporate Democrats supporting Hillary are going to give him any of his platform, including a full Medicare for all or a New York Stock Exchange transaction tax or anything like that.
So where do you see all of this going?
Well, I disagree with what Senator Sanders is doing because while the campaign has not asked him to drop out, there's a big difference between running on principle and continuing to motivate Democrats and being obstinate and saying, rule or ruin, I'm going to go to the convention and I'm going to be obstinate. I don't think that's constructive because, first of all, it costs money, it delays unity. With respect to Mr. Nader's comment on the platform, I respectfully disagree, and he is a genuine American hero. Because I think that the campaign and the Democrats will agree to give Mr. Sanders some of the platform positions that he wants. I think you really got to be careful here not to make this into a drag-down fight. It really doesn't work.
If Hillary Clinton was a better candidate, there wouldn't be a fight, and that Bernie Sanders wouldn't still be bringing in more than $20 million a month.
Yeah, but Dagan, she is a good candidate. She's gotten more votes than he has, and he now, as each barrier seems to be there, he's now got another one that he's going to try to overcome, which is the superdelegates, and he's going to go to the end. Look,
Well, they turned on her in 2008. Is that what he's counting on? That they're going to turn on her now if his momentum continues?
Who turned on her? Nobody
the superdelegates went for Barack Obama in 2008 when his popularity picked up.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is that was a situation in which he had more votes than she did. She's got millions of votes more than Bernie.
So there's a lot of discussion over Donald Trump and who his VP pick may be. He's been very complimentary as Cruz and Kasich as they exited the race. But Richard, I want to get to you because not a lot of chat yet about Hillary Clinton, who she may tap for VP.
Yeah, I think Hillary, I clearly think there's a short list. I mean, we've heard some of the names floated. We've heard Tim Kaine, the former governor of Virginia, now in the Senate. We've heard
Elizabeth Warren.
We've heard Al Franken, who is the former comedian and, senator from Minnesota. We've heard a couple of names, but I don't think they're going to pick quite yet. And here's the thing. I think what Hillary Clinton's going to do, and I think rightfully so, is she's going to pick somebody who, quote-unquote, would not be historic, right? So picking a Latino might not be the right move, right, because she is the historic candidate. You never want, we learned from Sarah Palin, you never want too much energy at the bottom of your ticket, especially when, she's not the most exciting person in the world. Even she admits that.
And Mr. Nader, I want to get you back in here to comment on that. But you have also recently said that Hillary Clinton is Wall Street's first choice. Trump is too unpredictable for the big banks. But first, your take on Hillary Clinton and who she may pick to run on her ticket.
I have no idea. I know that she has to be very careful not to alienate Bernie Sanders followers. That could be very disastrous for her campaign. So she's going to have to deal with him. Let him do what he's doing. He may well begin to support congressional candidates around the country as his role. I don't think he's going to just be a toady mouthing support daily for Hillary Clinton, because I don't think he can lend his credibility to Hillary's incredibility. But he can help progressive candidates for the Senate, especially, to recover the Senate for the Democrats. But I think he's going to go into a civic mobilization. That is, he'll take a progressive agenda that doesn't necessarily be excessively partisan, say against Trump, who's going to be very damaging for the Republican Party, win or lose, because he's uncontrollable.
Well, I don't agree that she's an incredible candidate, and I think she's a very credible candidate. I do believe that both Sanders and Clinton have the same objectives. I don't think there's a lot of difference. It's just that Sanders' problem is that he's pie in the sky. He's saying he's going to do all of these things without thinking about the Congress of the United States. And Hillary's position is much more practical. We have to, in my view, elect a Democrat.
I hear you on that piece, and I don't get me wrong. I think Hillary will be the nominee. I've said this a couple of times. Sure. I most likely will vote for her. But with that being said, I think what Bernie Sanders speaks to is this ideal from young people, from millennials, who feel as though for years and years and years the system has failed them. Baby boomers have failed them. Yeah. And so what they're looking for is they're looking for real lasting change, which is what you saw why they voted for. On the Republican side, they voted for Donald Trump, and on the Democratic side, they voted for Bernie Sanders. So they're looking for revolutionary change, and it can't just be, well, the system is the way that it is. Well, let's change the system.
Let me just say this. I think that Sanders has to be unmasked. He poses as an outsider. In fact, he's as inside as you can get. 35 years at the public trough in the Congress of the United States is about as inside as you can get.
Tom, a question for Hillary right now, tactically. At this point in time, Donald Trump is already the presumptive nominee on the other party ahead of Democrats, which nobody thought. Is that smart strategy to unmask Bernie Sanders? And more broadly, given Hillary's strengths, as you say, or her weaknesses, how hard a job does she really have to unify that party and get them excited?
It's a big job, Matt, but the fact of the matter is she has to deal with what she's facing. She's not asking him to drop out, and she's asking him to continue a principled approach for people who support him without saying that he's going to upend the convention. We really can't have that. It's a big, big difference.